Right, welcome back and thank you for staying with Business Today. Now, today we are discussing about regenerative kind of tourism. When you hear regenerative, it's such a big word, but it's just a simple thing. When you go to visit a place, the paper you throw away, just the ecosystem surrounding where you are living or spending the time is really, really important. And therefore, we have Nick Aduda, who is the CEO of Dudu's Safaris, where they deal with regenerative kind of tourism. A tourist comes and they make sure that at the end of their trip, they plant a tree and also involved in different activities where they save the environment. Thank you so much for still sticking with us.
Thank you, Kenya.
So let's continue with this conversation. When we look at in Kenya, especially the different sites that are visited, what are some of the sites that can be visited and be used to really, really create an impact, especially to the environment, now that we are speaking about climate change?
I can say that Samburu is very much overlooked. Like, imagine just having a drive down to Samburu, go up Mount Ololokwe. The views up there are absolutely heavenly. Walking down, going to Buffalo Springs, have a dip, enjoy yourself. The following day, we'll have an on-foot rhino tracking, just walking and you see rhinos are over there. It's absolutely magical. It's like basically spiritual. It's so good and so many people don't consider much of the northern circuit of Kenya.
And the northern part of Kenya, as you've mentioned, seems very interesting, and it can actually contribute to even conserving part of the environment that we are talking about and even creating a difference in our climate. So therefore, what are some of the activities, especially like you've mentioned in Samburu, you walk down, you see rhinos, you walk down, the scenery is really good. But when it comes to activities, like from where you sit, what are some of the activities that you would involve the people who've come to tour such a place in that can also contribute to saving the environment?
I can tell you for sure, like, I can't blame a lot of people overlooking Samburu.
Yes.
Because, like, Masai Mara is basically the most popular game reserve worldwide. You really can't overlook that.
Of course, Masai Mara, anywhere you search, is just Masai Mara, Kenya, yes.
Like, you can imagine the Nat Geo regards the Great Migration as the 8th wonder of the world. So most people tend to think of Mara. But the north is very nice, like as I mentioned earlier. You can also get to see the Gerenuk. The Gerenuk is a Somali word for the long-necked antelope. Because like most antelopes are very much standard, but this one it looks almost like a giraffe. So there's things you won't see in the Mara that you only get in Samburu. Yes.
All right, and now let's talk about activities. When the tourists have come, the first day, the second day, the third day, when is it that you involve this kind of visitors in these activities? Because let me put myself in a tourist's shoes and say, okay, I've gone somewhere, the first day, I'm tired. The second day, I wake up. I would, of course, want to visit some places. So when does this particular activity come in, especially when it comes to going to a certain place in that area to just make sure that at least you do activities that are saving the environment?
You're asking very good questions, Kevin. Like usually we do these activities at the tail end of the tour.
Okay, just towards the end.
Yes, very much so. Because like the first days, people are very much excited. It's a new country. Like I can tell you for sure, Kenya is one of the most beautiful countries on the planet. Our weather is amazing. Our food is beautiful. The people are warm, hospitable, easy to speak with. There's so much going on. So the person wants to experience all this, especially after landing. But then like at the tail end, like on the 28th of this month will be under our CSR project as a group we are working with, Jericho Boxing Club, will be planting trees in the locality. So those are the times like when we try to inculcate tourists to come and join us in the environmental endeavors. Yes.
All right. Now, let's look at the challenges, especially from different, people are very different. People come from different areas.
Yes.
Do you ever get resentment? Do you ever get people who say, okay, I've come to tour, I don't think I'm going to involve myself in this? And when you encounter such kinds of resentments, what do you usually do? And how do you handle this going forward? Because now your tourism is, your kind of tours deals with the environment as well at the end of the day.
matters of resentment, we never come across such. Because I'm telling you, again, I repeat, Kenya is one of the most beautiful countries in the whole world. But most Kenyans don't appreciate this fact until you move abroad. Case in point, in 2021, we hosted a family from Saudi Arabia. Now, like, the firstborn son had a mosquito allergy, you can imagine.
Yes.
So I was very much concerned about that. But the boy himself said that that was the best trip he's ever been on. I received a voice note from the father, 29th of January this year, saying that the whole family, sorry, that's 3 kids, the wife, and the father, that Kenya was the best trip by far. They sent me a voice note. So you can imagine from 2021, July, August, January 29th, 2024, someone telling you that Kenya was their best destination. This is a guy, apologies for mentioning this, but he works for Saudi Aramco. So he travels the world a lot.
Yes.
US, France, Italy, and he says Kenya is the best place he's ever been to. Like our weather. Right now, I can tell you, like in the Middle East, you've been to Dubai recently, right? Yes. I can tell you, like, when it hits summer, I've seen 49 degrees. It's crazy. So, like, when Kenya here, we have very beautiful weather. The food is amazing. Again, the people are hospitable. The locations, the scenery, sandy beaches. A lot of people come from the UK, then go to Zanzibar for the beach experience, not knowing that you get the same experience in Kenya.
Yes.
Like Diani, Lamu. Personally, I love Watamu. Yes. But, like, there's so much to do. There's so many things to enjoy in Kenya. You would never imagine.
Okay. Even as we come to an end, Nick, when it comes to the future of regenerative kind of tourism, what can be added in order to make it more interesting to people? What can be added in order to make it more popular to different sort of companies and even individuals? Because this kind of tourism, I think it can also be used to save the environment at the end of the day. So even as we come to a close, briefly, just let us know what the future looks like in terms of regenerative kind of tourism.
Regenerative tourism is basically the future. We're living in the future as we speak. Because previously people used to speak a lot about sustainable tourism, which is basically like minimizing the damage. But with regenerative tourism, we're taking a more proactive approach to the environment, the places we visit, the groups we interact with, the interactions, the activities we engage in with all our guests. Yes, so we are pretty much living in the future. And as a company, we are taking the beacon and leading the line to how the other companies, and in general, the whole travel industry should look at regenerative tourism.
All right. Thank you so much, Nick, for joining us. That is Nick Aduda, who is the CEO of Dudu's Safaris, a young person just who has decided to take the tourism sector by himself and just change it in terms of conserving the environment using tourism. Very interesting idea right there. All right, we're going to continue with a different couple of stories. Now,